I know when I start talking about these topics, it might sound like I'm rambling and I have a crackpot theory about some things. But there are some that I feel like has been discussed a lot in the background, but no one has actually made an actual addressing of this issue. So, looking into the screen, basically when the mod 3.0 or the mod neutralization thing happened, every elemental affinity was removed and every mod can slot in basically anywhere as long as it's in the appropriate area. And in terms of coding, they have colors based on something that uses armor charge, something that uses armor charge over time, and something that lets you gain armor charge or increase the amount you have in some way. But from that point, the color coding has since ended. In the past, they used to be color coded via the element that spawned them. Like looking at the reserve, well, the reserves are a bad option. But if you looked at something like Innervation was a solar one. I know better already was, I think, Uniform. Recuperation was Arc. Invigoration was definitely Arc. Insulation was Void. You would have a little symbol in the top left of each mod to say where they came from. But then, to that extent, once the mod system went out, they kind of wiped that out. And now, I know I've been talking about this personally to my friends a lot, considering at one point when scavengers were more weapon-based as opposed to element-based, I wanted shotguns to be green, fusion rifles to be green / purple, because considering we have a few heavy fusion rifles. Rocket launchers, since they're never going to be a special or primary ammo, make that a purple one to say, hey, this is a heavy-based platform. Why not use it? But then some time ago, when I was looking throughout YouTube, I saw a post from Hynra. I'm not sure about the date or time currently, but it was a discussion about how when you look at your screen, specifically at the loader, you looked at Arc and Kinetic, and shape-wise, they're very similar. And depending on how you look at them on your screen, it could be a flash choice. You might not get the right one if you're going simply by visuals and not checking every single mod, which I personally do agree. Since we used to have a color coding based on the mod system when they were elementally aligned as opposed to neutral everywhere, why is it that when the mod 3.0 system went out, we didn't get a color coding? Because easily, we can make Solar the reddish orange, Stasis the dark blue, Strand green, Void purple, light blue for the Arc. Kinetic could probably stay the same color just because that is colorless generally. I get not for the ability-based ones, it's impossible to color code that, because I assume that would just be subclass relevant, unless Bungie wants to make the step and make a color that's solely dependent on every element you're wearing at the current time, but I doubt they would do that. But personally, I would love it if they just went the extra step to do everything. Harmonic would be another issue. I would be fine with leaving that as just white, because then it's harmonic, it's whatever you have your subclass as. But I would love it if every element could actually have its respective colors, just because then, instead of looking for symbols, we can just see the color and be like, there we go, there's what I need. I feel like that could be a change Bungie could implement. And for anyone wondering about colors and colorblind, Bungie already has that covered because they do have their colorblind filters that are changing based on whatever colors you are blind in, and will change how things look in your menus accordingly. So any colorblind presence should not be negatively affected by any of these changes. And on that note, my name is Matt Scorpion, and I will see you in the next video.